22 million rosaries. That's a lot of rosaries.
This rosary campaign was inspired by Father Patrick Peyton, the Rosary Priest. He's the one that made known to the world the slogan, "The family that prays together stays together." And he took that and he went out to the whole world proclaiming the gospel message of Jesus Christ through the power of the rosary.
And audiences in the millions flocked to his crusades. Why? Because they were desperate and in need of the power of prayer. And to think that we are not in need of the power of prayer today would be foolish. It doesn't take much to look around and see that our world is divided and in need of peace and unity.
Another man that believed in the power of the rosary was St. John Paul II. He said, "As the family goes, so goes the nation." And so we're asking you, beginning on the feast of St. John Paul II, October 22nd of this year, gather with your families. Whether that's the family you were born into, you and your spouse, with your kids, at your churches, your schools, or just a group of friends, gather and pray. Pray the rosary for peace in the family, in the nation, and in the world. And it's not just us asking, it's the Blessed Mother. She's the one asking.
When I first heard of this challenge from Ayla and Konnor of praying 22 million rosaries, I thought that's exactly what we need. Because our world, our country is crying out for God. And I don't know of a better way of entrusting ourselves to the Blessed Mother, asking for her prayers and her sessions of bringing us to Jesus. That's what Mary longs to do, is to bring us to her son Jesus.
In the Old Testament, 1 Samuel chapter 17, it seemed like the people of God were up against invincible army, the big Goliath that nobody could challenge. And it seemed like the problems were too big. But David had what engineers would call a breakthrough in technology. He had a little sling. Our Lady all over the world is saying, the rosary is your weapon. And just like David knocked out Goliath with the sling, this rosary is going to knock out the devil out of our world. But we have to pray it with the heart.
Sometimes I find myself thinking about unforeseen riches and what could have been. What if I were to have invested in Nike prior to 1985 and Michael Jordan's rookie year? What if I were to have invested in Apple prior to 2001 and Steve Jobs re-envisioning the ways that we make computers? What if I were to have invested in Zoom prior to the coronavirus outbreak? I think of all of these investments and their potential payouts that we missed out on and wonder what investments could we be making right now and what payouts might they have for us in the future? What if one of those was something that we truly needed and it wasn't monetary at all and it didn't cost us any money? What if it was something that was promised thousands of years ago by Jesus Christ himself and his mother? What if he promised in John 14 that he would give us peace, not as the world gives, but the peace that only God could give to the soul of humanity? And what if what Mary says was true about the recitation of the Rosary, that meditating upon the life of Jesus Christ through her intercession, that we would find peace in our hearts because we would destroy sin and vice, and we would flourish in good works, what our country needs? What if I joined with 22 million other people to pray the Rosary so that I would experience peace in my own life? And what if the peace in my own life led to peace in my family? And what if peace in my family led to peace in our country? And it was the foundation of our country. If that were the case, what if I never invested in that? I'm inviting you to invest now with me. And investing in that, I invite you to share in its payout.
This challenge, I just want to encourage everyone here watching this video to partake in this challenge, to join us in prayer so that we can entrust ourselves to the Blessed Mother, her bringing us to her son Jesus, to pray for peace in our country and our nation and our world right now, which is crying out, needing God.